Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another stream. Obviously, we're taking on Everton. Friday night lights at the Kenny. Huge game. I can't stress that enough going into this. We've been saying the remaining games are, but this one, for sure, definitely is, especially that it did get moved not too long ago to, Friday night. We tend to do better under the lights, as we know, and it's massive. It's a massive game. So, yeah, like always, I'm joined with Dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, all good. Looking forward to this game. Nervous because if it doesn't go the way we really need it to, then it's not looking great. If we're going to be honest, but it's going to be good for me doing a watch long again. Last watch long of the season as it stands. So hopefully I can get at least one W on a watch along in the Premier League with us. But enough said about that at the moment. So let's get straight into it. So Everton, as we all know, obviously position wise, we know they obviously confirmed, mathematically their survival when they won against Brentford last weekend. Obviously 1-0. And then obviously as for us, 2-1 defeat at Wolves, as we know. We had a few chances in the first half, as we know, two Morris headers. Second one, we know he should have done a bit better. But again, he did redeem himself and score. And then we just were poor at the start of the first half, and it cost us really, if we're being honest, few average performances in the game from certain players. So we need to definitely bounce back. One win in, I think it's like 14 or something. And obviously that's against Bournemouth. That was at home as well, as we know. So we really need to start racking up points now. Even if, that's them sort of games where you don't play great, as long as you get the points, because we need to do that in these remaining three, as we all know. But like I say, Everton confirmed it, survival. But yeah, more going into it. More about Everton as well. Everton had a terrible start to 2024 with no Premier League wins in their first 10 attempts before a resurgence in recent weeks, while winning 4 of their last 5 games. One of those wins was against City rivals Liverpool. It was their first win against the Reds at Goodison Park since 2010. The Toffees have scored 18 goals from set pieces in the Premier League this season, not including penalties. Only Arsenal have scored more during this campaign, which that's pretty crazy, to be honest, because you think how many goals Arsenal have scored in a lot of their, especially their recent away games. The 8 points deducted from the visitors this season has spurred them on to pick up more wins than Brighton and Hove Albion in 12th place. This is the first time we have hosted Everton in a top flight fixture since November 1991. Last time we met, obviously, we have played them twice this season. Following our first Premier League win at Goodison earlier in the season, the Hatters followed it up with a stoppage time win against Everton in the Emirates FA Cup in January. Mikalenko's own goal gave us the lead at half-time. Jack Harrison equalised for the hosts after the break, and then Woodrow, as we all know, fired us, shall I say, into the 5th round in the 96th minute. Team news going into it. Now, obviously, team news, we've said this, last 2 weeks, and someone's been in, or 2 people. Obviously, Brentford game is Lokonga and Osho. Obviously, last week it was Elijah, but apparently it is only Elijah that's available out of the ones that obviously were still out. So, yeah, and I'm hearing that Chio is hopefully going to be back for the next 2 games, the last 2, of course. And he did also say, he spoke to a fan and said it, he did also say Elijah should be back for Wolves, and he was. So hopefully that is the case. It'd be massive if he's back in. I think, especially with Townsend not being on the best of form, I feel, Chio being back in, for the competition will be good as well. And that side of things, obviously, again, we know Chio is one of the fastest players in the league as well. So that pace to get him behind, teams in the last 2 games could be, very, very massive. So, yeah, hopefully he is back like it's rumoured to be. But, yeah, that's that on that. And then the referee for this game, will be Tim Robinson. 114 yellow cards, no red cards have been handed out by Robinson across the 28 games this season. We last had a game run by him when we lost to Man City at Kenilworth Road in December. So yeah, VAR's David Coote and all of that. So yeah, that's that really when it comes to all of that. After saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this huge game?
I just want them. They just need to perform. They need to go out there and do their best, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see the Brentford performance. And I'm confident now. We've got Elijah back. We've got Lokonga back. We could have a few options off the bench now. So it may, even if Gio's on the bench. And yeah, if they've all had a good meeting and are really determined in that, then if we keep fighting for the last 3 games, then I'll be happy. But yeah, it's nervous, isn't it? Because
Very.
There's so much at stake now, and it's still in the back of your mind. You've got them certain performances where we didn't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We can't have any of that really. But we've beaten twice. We're under the lights. It's Friday night. So there's no reason why we can't beat them, plus they've got terrible waveform. I don't think they've won in their last 8, maybe even more. So, if we can get the atmosphere up, that comes from the players as well. If they start proper performing and going at them and that, similar to Brighton. I think I've looked at the lineup against Brighton. It's not too dissimilar. We had Bell then, we had Chio then, but everyone else we didn't have Mengi then. It's pretty much if we go for that kind of lineup, then and just go for them from the start, then we've got a good chance. We'll definitely score against them, 100%. I think. But the defense needs to be really on point, man. And I'm quietly confident, but it gives it, because it's also on a Friday. It gives us a breathing space. And then what's annoying is that we don't know what's going on with Forest yet with their points.
Yeah, I don't know, that still ain't come up, but there we go.
You know what I mean? Because in one way it's all right, because if we knew that they'd got 2 points back, they'd effectively be 3 points ahead of us. That could put us under a lot more pressure. As it stands, we're not really sure. So we've got to go at it anyway. But then they'll play Sheffield United the next day, so the pressure's potentially on them. Everyone's presuming that they'll beat them and that, but there's a big rivalry there. There's ex-players and stuff like that, and Sheffield United have now, they can play with a freedom because they've got nothing. Yeah. They're down. So and they've still got some quality players there who won't really necessarily feel that pressure. Bertrand Diaz, you know what I mean, scored a few goals for him. We need him to be on point. And Hamer and stuff like that. Just play for your place, really, because at the end of the day, some of them are playing for their place, with no matter whether they're in the Championship or not. So that'll be interesting. And they're not too terrible at home. They could definitely get a draw. But yeah, I'm feeling confident. The fact that we have beaten twice, they say things happen in threes. So yeah, but obviously, everyone knows that if we don't beat them, it's pretty much game over, isn't it? Let's be honest. Especially if Forest then beat Sheffield United and then get points back. By then there'd be they're 1 point now. There'd be 4 points. Get another 2 points back, or even 1 point. That's 5 points. You basically got to win your last 2 games and hope Forest don't even get it. It's not going to happen. So we could effectively be relegated this pretty much this weekend. Let's be honest, or by the middle of next week, if they get points back, even if it's 1 and they win, we lose, it's too much. Yeah, I know they've got Chelsea. Have they got Chelsea?
Yeah,
And
Chelsea.
last season, but I think Burnley will be down by then as well. I know a lot of people saying, yeah, let's hope that but they got Newcastle tomorrow or Saturday, sorry, and then they got Tottenham as well. I think that's something. I can't see Tottenham losing to Burnley. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, because it's at Tottenham as well, and Tottenham, to be fair, dismantled them at Burnley.
Yeah, I mean, and even if we do win tomorrow and Forest win as well, and then get 2 points back, then they'll be 3 points ahead of us with 2 games to play. Chelsea are fancy to beat them, but then we've got to get something at West Ham. But it makes it still possible going to the last day. I'd like it to go to the last day. That'd be good, but if we don't win tomorrow, pretty much it's done. That's it. I mean, kind of half accepted it. I have. I don't know about other people, but you kind of got to, because if you don't, I mean, you're just going to get more upset. And at the end of the day, we've had a good season regardless. Well, first half of the season anyway, and it just the injuries definitely didn't help, and then certain decisions, certain tactics, and that. But it's still learning. But I'll tell you something as well that I do think if we don't start off, I'm not expecting us to win the league if we get relegated and all that. Do you know what I mean? We know how tough it is. We do start slow, but I'd say if we're not like potentially in and around the playoffs at least by like November and that, then they might get rid of him. Obviously, that's like a long way off and that, but how's the club? Because we're not just going to accept that's all right. Then we've been in the Premier League. That's it. We'll leave it now for whatever. Our aim is to obviously stay in there anyway, or if not, get straight back up there at the end of the day. So you're not going to be sentimental anymore. I think that sort of stuff's stopped now, isn't it? The journey that we've been on and that. I've also seen that Luke Berry's agents put out stuff already, so obviously we know he's going to go anyway. But I think his agents just put out a couple of rumours and that. Was it Watford, QPR, and DC United?
Gone DC, yeah, I can accept that, but the others, no.
I mean, I can't see Watford being interested, and then if they are, I mean, no disrespect to Berry, you know what I mean, but he's not the sort of player that you can assign to try and get in the Premier League. You know what I mean? On a random like that. So he wouldn't go to Watford anyway. Do you know what I mean? QPR, possibly QPR.
Yeah, I can see that.
If it was him, and it is true, and he had them options, I'll go to America, mate. Big payday, different.
Exactly.
Easy for him to play in that league. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Yeah, imagine. Let me see.
A lot of that's just rumours. I can't see Watford being. I mean, that's quite embarrassing to be fair. Like, what I mean? If they were interested in, like, I don't know, some, like a better player. Do you know what I mean? And then I mean, they started Tom Ince, didn't they? After he'd done nothing for us, nothing for whatever, and he's done nothing for them. So you can see the levels that they'll be selling. Anyway, let's not talk about them. But nervous. It'll be more nervous tomorrow when it actually, when we're actually playing and that, and it's going to be very intense. But all we can do is do our job, and hopefully, I mean, now I don't want them to give Nottingham Forest. I don't know whether we find out tomorrow, for instance, that they've got, if they're going to get points back. It's all a mess, isn't it?
Okay.
It does affect the players. I don't care what anyone says. It's definitely in the back of their mind. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just
Yeah. No, absolutely. Going back to what you said earlier, yeah, with us scoring again, I can't see us not. The last time we didn't at home was against Tottenham, and that was 7th of October last year. So, I definitely see us scoring. We know we're up there as well when it comes to scoring. I think we're up there with Liverpool or something.
Yeah, we've scored like in pretty much every
I
single
remember
game.
saying that against Wolves in the little post-match thing I've done on Instagram. So yeah, no, it's pretty crazy there. And again, like you say about their away form, it ain't great. They've lost their last 5. Sorry, not won any of their last 5. So obviously they drew to Brighton. I mean, that's decent. Obviously lost to United 2-0. I think that was an early kickoff from memory. Lost to Bournemouth. Drew with Newcastle, and then obviously took that heavy defeat to Chelsea. A lot of people wouldn't have expected that. And that was probably just one of them games. I know teams have them sort of games, but again, it was interesting to see that. I thought it'd be a draw. I remember saying that. That obviously didn't age well for my predictions, but yeah, that's that on that really. Let's go through some comments. Big up to Chris. Says big up lads. Hope you're well. Good thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Big up to Paul in the chat as well. Big up to Hanno as well. The thing is, I don't think they will be, as much as they've confirmed safety. Like I said, I think they'll be seeking revenge. Obviously, like you said, Dad, like I said, we've beaten twice already. They'll want to try and get it, and they can maybe even see it as a third time lucky for them, sort of thing. Just try and beat us. So, and they could, dampen our hopes of survival. For definite as well. So, I think it will be a tough game tomorrow. I do think that, and I know people over exaggerate and say it a lot with any team. I see like Company trying to make out Sheffield United are really good the other week. But like this, I do think it will be a tough game. And also the thing is with Everton, like I said on the last episode, we briefly touched on it. If they didn't have them points deduction, they'd be in mid-table as well. So they've had a far better season than last season, for example, where it come down to last day, and that weren't due to points deduction or anything. So, it's one of them really. No, again, I totally agree with this. Chris says, for me, it's must win for Luton. I'm looking at Luton. They need 6 points really, 2 wins. Forest saying tough game being Chelsea. Yeah, the thing is, I would have said Burnley, but again, like you said, that they've got to go away to Tottenham. They've got Newcastle who are a bit iffy away, as we all know. But again, I think, they can hurt them, especially players like Isak. He's on fire. So, yeah, it's interesting. And again, Jackie here, teams paying for nothing are dangerous. Exactly. And like I say, they'll be seeking that revenge as well. They will. So, it's one of them. Chris also said, just feel in your difficult situation, especially with Forest could win appeal to. All you can do is get 7 to 9 points from remaining games. See what happens. West Ham away can be tough. Yeah, and I've already said it, without trying to get into it too much. It will be difficult, that game. I can't stress that enough either. Yes, they're, a bit iffy, but they've definitely got the players, especially with how we have been out the back at times. They have got the players to hurt us, definitely. Out wide, Bowen, Kudos, etc. So, yeah, that's not going to be easy at all. I think Everton are good defensively when they want to be, but Liverpool wasted chances in that game. I feel Chelsea 6-0 was a freak result. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say about that Chelsea one. But yeah, Liverpool, yeah, I'd agree. I watched that game. Liverpool, they had good chances, man. It's got 1-0 up. Nunes straight at him. The amount of shots they had that was straight at Pickford was, just not great. And if they put them to either side, they would have definitely scored. So it'd have been a different game. So I do agree with that. Yep, he's doing really well. Yeah, no, he's definitely in there. I'd agree with that. If I was to do a team of the season, Braithwaite for Everton, he has been quality. But yeah, again on this, yeah, I know it's stupid. I don't understand why it's took this long. It's 2 points. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've said, they shouldn't even be able to appeal 2 points.
No, they got 4 points.
Oh yeah. So I always get them and Everton muddled up. And Everton.
Well, anyway, regardless of that, they were initially Premier League wanted to give them 8.
Yeah.
And that was
that's what I mean. Yeah.
It was reduced to 6 or something, and then they got 2 back because they cooperated. Then they slagged off the Premier League. So you shouldn't get any back.
Exactly.
You should not get any back.
And either way, sorry, like I say, I always get them and Everton muddled up. Because Everton obviously got some more, didn't they? It's 4 anyway. it's still not a big difference. Do you know what I mean? Like when Everton originally got, what was it? They got at the start 6,
10.
10, but then didn't it get reduced or something?
Yeah.
Like if they had 10 to start off with,
Yeah.
and it didn't get reduced, then I'd understand that. But 4 and 2, it's nothing. So it's just stupid. And it's like I said, numerous times, we had 30, we can do nothing. Do you know what I mean? We can do nothing. So it's just one of them. Luton been joy to watch first half of the season. Give big teams run for their money. Yeah, exactly that. It's gutting when I think about it. That's right. The games where we've had a really memorable moments, like Brighton the win, the Everton away win. We didn't do no vlog from home, man. That's gutting to think. We'd still watch them both together though, which is obviously interesting. But yeah, it's a bit gutting that. So we need to end it with a 6 result. In these next 2 of these next 3, at least, in my opinion. Obviously, ideally all 3, but I just think that West Ham one's difficult, man. Evening, Tyler and Daz. Hope you're both well. Yep, good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well as well. Everton lack goals too. They had to rely on set piece for goals and one in a Decore. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. Burnley got Newcastle and Spurs, which is tough games, and got to play Forest on final day. I think Burnley left it too late. Yeah, I totally agree. That's what I think is gonna happen with them as well. So yeah, that's that when it comes to that. Moving on to the lineups now. So it's quite interesting because I know we briefly touched on a new formation or a previous formation we've used in the last episode. But this is what I'm going to go with in the game for tomorrow. So it's similar to Brighton in the sense of it's quite an overloaded middle with 4 in it. You could say Doughty and Hashioka are wing backs, but they're more so up there for me in this game, like it was against Brighton. With that 3-4, what was it? 3-4-1-2, something like that. So obviously Kaminsky in goal, of course. Back 3, I'm going with all the centre backs that are available. So obviously that's Osho, Mengi, and Burke. The only thing for me that I'd maybe change is Mengi and Osho, but again I'll go Mengi in the middle of that back 3. Doughty on the left, of course. I'm going to go Hashioka on the right now. I know, like I said, a few people have said their thoughts, but again, I don't want to go Fred because, he's not actually a defensive-minded player. Yes, he can play there, but again, I'd rather have someone who is actually been brought in to play there. Obviously, if Kabore was available, I'd be going with him, but I'm sticking with Hashioka. I don't think he started the Wolves game terrible as well. I think as the game went on, he weren't great, but again, I don't think it was as bad as what certain people are saying. Barkley and obviously Lokonga, obviously a lot alongside them. And then the front 3, I've gone with 3, of course. So I've gone Chong on the right side. Again, he's played there a few times. So I'm going to stick with him. Morris, obviously, in that more deeper role on the left side. And then Elijah. Now, again, some people could say Elijah and Morris to swap. But I just feel Morris is good at flicking on the ball. You see him do it a lot of times in games. No one's quite there. But I think with Elijah being in, he's got that pace, doesn't need to get him behind as well. So that's what I'm going to go with tomorrow night. So Kaminsky in goal, back 3 of Osho, Mengi, Burke, Doughty on the left, Hashioka on the right, Barkley and Lokonga, and then the 3 up front. I'm going Morris on the left side, Chong on the right, and Elijah up front. Again, there could be shouts for Townsend ahead of Chong. But again, I don't know. I feel it's difficult because I feel you have to go with Morris and Elijah. But then again, I feel you have to sort of go with Chong because he is trying to make things happen when he has played. So that's my lineup going into it. Your lineup going into it, Dad. And do go with your lineups that you go with as well in the chat. There you go, Dad.
Yeah, so it's not too dissimilar to yours, really. I'm going to go with a 3. Same as you. Osho, Mengi, Burke. Doughty on the left. Hashioka on the right, Barkley, Lokonga, and then I've got Elijah on the left, Townsend on the right. Although and then obviously Morris up front. I feel that Barkley, didn't perform well in that last game. It's his former club. I really want to see the best out of him. He's not really got made a point to prove necessarily against them, but it's his hometown club and things like that. And I'm pretty sure that if we need a proper performance from him, and a goal scoring performance, this for me, that's going to happen hopefully tomorrow. Hashioka on the right again. Not saying I'm not really going to Fred there, nah. And then I think Townsend can come back and help out there. I could see what you're saying, Chong there as well. It's a bit, for Chong to get dropped because Elijah's back or whatever. But, Rob Edwards has said that he probably won't play the whole game. So he might not even start anyway. But I feel if he doesn't start, then you've got to put, I want 2 strikers on the pitch. Put Woodrow there then. Or do you know what I mean? Or maybe even put Woodrow instead where Townsend. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. But and we've got to have good options on the bench if you think about it. We're Clark, Chong. Who else? Fred. Still obviously Berry, Ruddock. Berry still puts in. He scored a couple of goals. So we are a little bit stronger. Obviously, we're still missing like Brown, things like that. But yeah, that's what I'll be going with, and that's kind of the formation and lineup we had against Brighton before.
Yeah.
So I think we are used to playing with a free, and if we've got the free fit and available, then I can't see us going forward. We've got to go at them, and. I don't think when Barkley played, I think Barkley come off in the last game before Elijah come on. So I'm thinking if they start together, I think that could be pretty good as well because he'll be able to feed him and he looked really lively when he come on. So for me, he's got to start.
Yeah, no, I'd agree as well. Especially with how key it is. Just got to start him. We missed him so much. We just need to. That's how I see it. However you do it. If you do, Morris where you put him, Dad Morris where I put him. I just feel you have to go with them two.
Yeah.
At least in that front three. So, yeah, that's that. When it comes to that, moving on to that time, Paul's already put his in. He knows what's coming up. Score predictions. What is your score prediction for this game, Dad?
Well, we've got to win. So I'm going to go for the win. We're expecting it to be tight. Might not be, but I'm going to go for the win. I'll go 2-1 Luton. Similar to the Bournemouth game. I think, and we'll have a little bit more than we did in that game as well. If Morris plays like he did tomorrow in that game, and we've got the other option, we've got Lokonga in there. We've got, what I mean. If we put in a good performance, I can, and if we go 1-0 up or whatever, maybe if we go 2-0 up, I think Everton with their away form and stuff won't. They'll try and fight back into it. But I think if we do that, then just keep going at it. And maybe like the Brighton game, But yeah, I'm going for a 2-1 Luton win. Stay in with, the shout, still keep fighting.
Yeah. Fair enough. As for my prediction, 2-1. 2-1, feeling it. I was going to say a 1-1 draw, but I feel, how big it is. We need to win. We need to win the game. It's as simple as that because you never know what you're going to get really with Sheffield United. Like, yeah, they might play for freedom, but at the same time, with how poor they've been, you would back Forest to win, just naturally. So we need to, get that win, especially them potentially getting, the points back as well. We need to capitalise and make the most of it, especially Kenilworth Road, Friday night game under the lights, whole world watching. It's on Sky Sports. So we need to make the most of that. We need to make the most of it. So I'm going to say 2-1 in this game, which will actually make it the 3 times we played it, 2-1 wins. Imagine that. That'd be crazy. So yeah, that's that. Everyone else's predictions. Paul's gone 3-1. Nice, like that. Hanno's gone 2-0 again, clean sheet, nice. That'd be nice as well. Again, that was another prediction I was maybe thinking at 1-0. Now thinking, I can't see us not keeping a clean sheet. Like obviously we've done it a few times, Newcastle at home, but not a lot as we know. So yeah, Barkley with the goal. Could you imagine that? Imagine that. Oh, that'd be sick. That. And Jackie says, I'm hoping for a 2-1 Morris and Barkley. Come on, you Hatters. Absolutely. And then Paul's 3 goal scorers gone Morris, Barkley, Elijah. Your goal scorers, Dad?
I'm gonna go Elijah double. I don't think I want Barkley to score or anyone to score really, but I just fancy that Elijah's gonna come on and potentially save our season. I did say it ages ago, like how he was improving and stuff like that, months ago, and he could, and we've got them both strikers fit. We know they both scored enough goals. Elijah's he was a banging form before he got injured as well. So if he's continuing with that mentality, then I think they're going to find it hard to deal with him, especially with set pieces and stuff. So I'm going to go for a double. I think Barkley will have a good game and probably will get maybe even a couple of assists out there. But yeah, Elijah double.
Yeah, nice. As for me, I'm going to go Elijah and Morris. Do you know what? I'm going to say it now. See if I get it right. Might not. I'm going to say Barkley to assist Elijah for one of the goals. So yeah, I reckon they'll have their battle, Morris and Elijah, for the top scorer. So even though Morris is overtaken him by 1 goal after getting that goal against Wolves, so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up. Especially if he did get a double, Dad. Like I say, he would overtake him again. So that'd be interesting there. A little battle for that. But yeah, early doors says we'd love a 2-1 Luton win, but Everton on a bit of form, but hopefully they're on the bench now as they're relatively safe. On the beach, sorry. Yeah, again, like I say, I do think they will make it will be difficult. So we'll be seeking that revenge because we have beaten twice. They want to, because of that, they want to try and get us down. I'm sure, but yeah, hopefully at the same time. But again, I think it's going to be difficult. I really do. So again, no, it's a game we would have looked at, excuse me, at the start of the season and tried to approach it for a win. Yeah, especially when you look at how Everton were last season. It's just a game you would have at Kenilworth Road. So that's what I mean. Again, it's another one of them that we would have looked at and aimed for 3 points. So again, we need to win it. Simple as that. So yeah, that is that. Dad, any final things you'd like to say on anything?
Nah, that's it. Let's just enjoy it and hopefully we can get the win and continue to fight and see what happens, see where we are. This time next week, we'll know by then about points deductions and where we're at and things like that. And if we get a positive result and Forest get put under pressure, don't win their game, I'll be pretty confident for us to get something against West Ham, because they've been in and out of form and they're I wouldn't be surprised if we could, because that would give the players a lot of confidence, even if to get a draw and then go down to the last game at Kenilworth Road in front of the fans, Fulham, mate, great. They've actually done all right this season, but they beat us 1-0. We played them recently over the year. I've had some good games with them. I'd fancy us to get a result if we needed to at home in the last day of the season. So let's see what happens tomorrow first.
Yeah, what I was going to say on Fulham game as well. Yeah, like you said, that they only beat us 1-0, and I was saying it to someone the other day. That was a really good result when you think about it. Because the amount of teams that went there and got slapped 5-0. I remember, to be fair, their goal was controversial. If we're going to be honest, it's a handball, in my opinion, by Iwobi in the build-up. So, again, that was early on as well in the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were actually unlucky not to get a draw out of that game, in my opinion. And again, the games over the years have been tight between them. Even when they were, smashing it up in the Championship, we drew 1-1 with them. I was at that game. Elijah got our goal. So again, now that he's back as well, he could be influential in that game as well.
That's his former club as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, against his former club. So there's stuff like that to look at. Like I say, without getting into it too much, West Ham are a bit inconsistent. So we get a point again. Unlucky not to get one at Kenilworth Road. We should have really had a penalty, if we're being honest. And I would have backed us to put that away. I know people say it's not guaranteed that you would have scored, but just with the momentum we had towards the end of that game, I felt we would have scored it. So again, there's things like that to look at. There's things like that to look at, but it all starts tomorrow. We need to get that win. Otherwise, it's not looking good, as they say. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. And yeah, don't forget to smash a like, do subscribe if you haven't already. And like I say, I'll be back again. Last watch along of the season tomorrow. So hopefully, I witness at least one Premier League win, like I said at the start of this, with us. Hopefully more, of course, if we do stay up and then do some next year, of course. But again, it's a very topsy-turvy time. So we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, like I say, smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the Extra channel. See a few people have over the last couple of days. And then yeah, like I say, watch along tomorrow. We'll do a reaction on Monday again to that. Even though the game is on Friday, we'll let all the weekend games get out of the way with that. And then yeah, move on to West Ham next week. Should have a few bits of different content planned for that. So that should be quite interesting with that. And then, yeah, not too sure on the game yet. I'll let you lot know closer to the time. But yeah, big up to everyone. And yeah, until tomorrow, I'll see you in a bit. Till Monday, you will see them in a bit, Dad. So until then, take care and peace.